All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well today. I hope everyone's been trading well the last week and couple weeks. I'm back with another trade breakdown video, and this is going to be a trade I literally just exited 45 minutes ago, and I thought, what better to do than to break it down during lunch and get it out to you guys by the end of the day. So here we are. I'm just going to dive right in, similar to the last couple videos, and we'll get on with it. So starting off, I'm looking at the monthly, of course, which you guys know. The monthly is green in this case. The weekly is green. The daily is actually had a previous day red, but that does not matter because we're in a clear bullish trend if you guys can't tell. I mean, anyone can tell this, even if you're new, right? We're supporting the 5, the 9, the 20 moving average, and we're making higher highs and higher lows and higher prices. Simple as that. And, actually, I want to back up a little here. I started off by identifying the stock because it was gapping up about 3% at the open, and at the exact open, 3.5%. And that's just something that gets my eye on a particular stock. It's very interesting to me when a stock is gapping up or down more than 2%, and that's something that I scan for every single morning. So that's initially how I found this idea, and then I just broke down that monthly, weekly, daily context as I explained. So from here, I track the RVOL. This is something that is more important to me on trades that I'm taking immediately off the open. But for this case, this was like a mid-morning trade, so it wasn't too significant, but I always track it. So this stock had a 1.28 RVOL, just to note. And then from here, I'll simply be going down to the lower time frames and breaking down the actual playbook I traded, right? I have a live video of me executing from entry, exit, stop loss management to give you guys a good idea of what it looks like to go from building out the idea. What is the context? Why are we trading this? You need to have those variables down. You need to have them tested. You need to understand why you're looking at what you're looking at. You need to make sure that all variables are on your side from the top down perspective. That just means from these higher time frames, the daily and down. You want to make sure that you have all the context you can in your favor, because if you don't, you're going to notice that most things are not going to follow through when you don't have those tailwinds behind your back, right? So after building out the daily context, understanding why I'm in the stock, why I'm selecting it, I then go to the lower time frames, which I'm about to do for you guys. But firstly, I want to say, if you haven't checked out the previous videos, GME and DJT breakdown, this is the same exact daily setup. The daily trend continuation setup. Same exact thing. And I believe GME was gapping down 6% that day, and I want to say DJT was gapping, I don't remember. I want to say down a couple percent, up a couple percent, that's for sure. So I just want you guys to notice how similar these contexts are. It's not like, this methodology, the system of identifying stocks, and the overall daily context and setup is something that is only applicable to one stock. This will play out over and over and over again across many stocks. And this is not the only daily setup I have. I have about 3 or 4 of them that I use consistently that are my main ones. But this is just one that's been happening recently, and it's something that you want to apply when it's there. So I'm going to dive into the actual video breakdown itself now, and we'll just simply walk through it together. Right, now we're in the actual live recording video itself. This is July 10th, which is today. Like I told you guys, I literally just exited this trade a moment ago. But before I dive into the video itself, I want to break down to you guys what I just talked about and why it's so important, right? So the first step for me always is stock selection, okay? Then it's what is the daily setup and what is the higher time frame to lower time frame context. So that's what I just broke down on that previous trading view chart. And I want you guys to understand that that's the first layer, okay? Without that, there's no playbook. And what is a playbook? The playbook is what I'm about to show you. It's the entry, the exit, the stop loss, the management within the overall trade when it's occurring. And you need the first layer to have the second layer of the playbook. You need the stock selection, you need the context, you need the higher time frame, the lower time frame approach, and understanding what's going on before you just go take this trade. Now, with that said, I'm going to explain to you guys what the rules of this playbook are. So this is the VWAP break and go playbook. I'm looking for VWAP to be broken, okay, and then I'm looking for it to break through that candle that breaks VWAP, okay, simple as that. But also, more context. What are the rules that I need within this? I need the daily candle aligned, I need the hourly candle aligned, I need the 15-minute and the 5-minute candles all aligned. So I want you guys to understand how many little steps there are to get into a trade. It's not like, I'm looking for any price ever to break VWAP and then go. I'm looking for that first layer, the stock selection, the context from the higher time frame to lower time frame, and then I'm looking for the time frame alignment. I'm looking for the VWAP break, and then the break through the VWAP candle break. Okay, so there's many steps to get this trade, and I want you guys to understand that it's never just a one or two thing. I'm looking at one time frame, making these easy trades. It's actually, it's about the variables that are backed behind it, the specifics that provide actual edge. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too much. I try to keep it simple, but also super informative and specific. So now I'm going to dive into a little bit more of the rules as well on this trade. So as you guys can see here, price impulsively ran down under VWAP here. And that's the first rule for this trade, at least to the upside. If you guys are wondering if you can short this, just go watch my GME video. That was a short of this playbook. But the first step for this playbook, and in this case I'm speaking to the long side, the buy side, you must see an impulsive move under VWAP with the 9 and the 20 MA expanding from it. What does this show me? Okay, this is going to get traders that aren't looking at the higher time frame context that I just explained from the monthly, weekly, daily. It's going to get them off sides, okay? Because they're going to be looking at the 2-minute chart. Oh my gosh, it's going down. I have to sell. And this is where we come in, right? I'm waiting for then a rebound to occur. As you can see here, price came down, then rebounded. And I'm looking for those traders that don't understand what they're doing to get caught off guard. And then price breaks VWAP, clears the candle that closes above VWAP in this case, and goes. So I hope that makes sense. And that's just some of the rules for this trade. And another important thing, right here you guys see how this dips under and then goes. The problem with this is that the 20 and the 9 don't come under. If the 20 and the 9 moving average came under here, I would have bought this, but it didn't. I need to see like a strong dip that's convincing people that price is going the opposite direction that takes them off sides. So I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple, especially for people that are new. But now we'll dive into the actual trade breakdown itself. So I flip between quite a few stocks. I've already explained this in my past videos. Yep, so right here, I'm waiting for a break of this 13.26 because that's where the daily candle flips green at the time. I hope that makes sense because again, I need the daily, the hourly, the 15-minute, the 5-minute all aligned to my trade for me to take it. And in this case, the daily was not synced up yet, but once it broke 13.26, it was. So that's where I was happy to start scaling into my position. I'm waiting, fast forward it. Was looking at Tesla, some other stocks. I never ended up trading Tesla, but it was something on my watch list for today. Okay, so right here, I'm waiting for my entry to come in. Okay, right there, I was triggered in about 3/5 of my entry. And then if price would break 13.30, that's where I would put my last bit of size. So again, people know this that I've watched previous videos. I enter trades in fifths, so I'll take 1/5 of my position, enter it, and then I'll continue to do that as price goes in my favor, as the trade begins to actually prove to me that it wants to go in my direction. So I was adjusting my position tool here. Fast forward it. Looking at some other stuff. Okay, so at this point, I'm fully in this trade, okay? I got a fill at 13.28, that was my average, and I started entering at 13.27 up to 13.30. And at this point, the first thing I'm thinking, which you guys already know this if you've watched my other videos, is where can I move my stop loss to take off risk? This is a super important thing that I do that makes me money long term because it saves me full stop losses. If I'm risking 500, I might only lose 250. So that's super important and it adds up over the long run. So at this point, my stop loss is 100% half of what it is. And I actually think I moved it to break even. Yeah, I definitely moved. Yeah, it's break even at this point. So this is something I want to explain as well. Whenever you have all these variables in your favor from the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the hourly, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and then just the gap up, the overall context, and then waiting for that playbook, that in this specific case was the VWAP break and go, where you're catching opposite participants that are just on the 2-minute chart offsides. When you have all those variables, normally trades will just go. They'll go, and this is what you get here. You just get an instant pop in your favor, which is incredible, because I literally took no heat on this trade, okay? And that does not always happen, but in this case it did. And those are the best trades. Those are normally the trades that follow through, the trades that end up, making your day, sometimes your week, depending on how far they want to run. I'm going to fast forward it. Yep, so at this point I was at break even. I remember clearly, because this was 45 minutes ago, this just goes sideways for a couple minutes, and my mindset at this point was I'll either take a break even or this trade's going to continue to go in my favor and I'll begin to take profits off. Near the red line, I believe I start taking off like a third of my position. So yeah, I'm either going to take a break even at this point or this trade's going to go in my favor. Fast forward it. Looking at some other stocks, of course. Yep, I actually thought I was going to take a break even on it, and I was completely fine with that. And then boom, right? So let me go back for you guys so you can see this candle form. Pretty nice candle. Yep, so I actually went to the bathroom right here. So this really started to go in my favor. And I was getting ready to take off a fifth of my position and simply scale out. My goal was to get about 1/3 out through 13.45 to 13.50, which you can't see yet, but that's up there. So yeah, I wasn't back in the room yet. I was not at my desk. I had to go to the bathroom, so yeah. Whenever I got back here, I was ready to take off that third of my position, like I just mentioned. Yep, so I believe I started to scale out a little bit right here. Hit my alert. I had a little alert there. Yep, so at this point, I was out, I believe, 25% of my position. And I was waiting a little bit longer to scale out some more. Yep. And at this point, I was thinking, maybe this can go to high of day. Maybe it can. But I'm obviously not just holding it till there. I'm paying myself along the way, as that's just how I treat my trading. I'm not trying to predict. I'm more so trying to react to what price is actually doing. Fast forward it. I think it consolidates for a second. Yeah. Okay, so I trailed my stop loss. So if a 2-minute candle were to close under this 2-minute candle, I would simply just get out at this point. Fast forward it. Okay, so I believe, yep. So this is where I have 1/3 off completely. And I'm thinking about taking half off, but I'm like, I'll just trail it because it's a super tight trail anyways, so it's not going to really make a difference. My mindset was, I'd rather see if this will just push to high of day, like pretty impulsively, where I'll take off like 60% total. Or I was just like, you know what? I'll let this thing come back and trail me out if it needs to. So I'm waiting. Still waiting. Yep. And again, my stop loss was under that 2-minute bar range low, because as you can see, these 3 candles are within this 2-minute bar's range, and that's how I trail most of my positions. So it starts to go even more. So okay, I guess I only have 1/4 off there, and then I started to scale my whole third out around this point. That's what I annotated. So I was just waiting at this point. I thought this thing might go high of day. I was like, wow, okay. Looks like it's just going to go, isn't it? But ends up slowing down in a moment. So at this point, I haven't moved it yet, but I know I move it right under this candle. I move my stop loss, and you guys will see that in a moment. Yep. And essentially, same thing I just annotated there. If a candle closes under that, I'll just get out. Okay, so I had a third off now, just about 30% of my position. So just paying myself as this goes in my favor. Fast forward it a little. Yep, so it makes another candle up. Doesn't quite close above the prior bar's high, so my stop is still going to be that white line. Oh, and also, let me note something. Oh, 1 second. So this was another trade I actually took that morning. I ended up I made a small win on it because it just didn't follow through as much as I wanted. Reality is I probably could have took profits more aggressively and made more on it. But I also did trade this on an open and go play. As you can see, it was powerful earlier this morning. It just didn't follow through as much as I thought. Kind of got greedy, I think, but pretty good trade here. Nothing too crazy, but this was definitely the best trade on this stock. A lot more follow through. All right, I'll fast forward it. Yep, so I was about to say this ends up slowing down, and yeah, you see me annotate. I must see a close. So until I see a close under that green bar is low, I'm not exiting. I believe it happens really, really fast, like right here. Yep. So in these next 30, yep, I ended up getting, I was gonna see if it would pop back a little more right here, and that's where I ended up exiting all of my position. You guys will see that in a moment. I think it pops green barely. Yep. So I just got all out there. And I mean, that's it. So that was the trade. It was not the longest trade. It was literally like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Super normal for me. I mean, this is about how most of my trades look. Sometimes even slower, sometimes a little longer, maybe like an hour at most. I don't really hold things that much. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this trade breakdown. I'll go back to the chart itself so you guys can just see a little bit more of the bigger picture of everything. Yep, you see me annotate all out. And that was the trade. So simple as that. I'll pause it for you guys and I'll head back to the bigger picture chart. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some value that you can add to your own arsenal, even if it's only a little bit. That's great. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I also wanted to show you guys what happened the rest of the current day. It's not over yet. I actually start trading again in like 45 minutes, so kind of have to go. But I want to show you guys what I started off the day with. So I traded an open and go on this as well. It just didn't really follow through. I caught a small win and it just wasn't worth the breakdown for me. It wasn't that good. And then I ended up again trading it again with a VWAP break and go, and that was extremely clean, as you guys could see. And again, this is where I exited on the video all out. It ended up going a little more and then just popping back to break even, and now it's continuing. But again, I don't care about this. I just don't. I care about the trade, right? And I care about following my rules. And my rules told me sell, so I sold, and it happened to be the semi-top of this smaller move here, which is great. That's what I'm looking for as a scalper. I'm not trying to predict whether this thing is going to go up to 14 or not. I don't care. I'm just following my rules, identifying a few things, right? What are they? Context. Oh, sorry. Context. Daily setup. Stock selection. And then playbook, aka entry, exit, stop loss, and management. right? I'm not out here trying to predict what's going on next. If this thing's going to close up at $14 today, I don't care. I'm just going to trade this, right? Simple as that. That's what we're supposed to do as traders. We're not trying to be Warren Buffett. We're trying to get in, get out, make money, and do that more often than not. Simple as that. So I keep saying that in a lot of videos, like I'm not trying to predict, don't predict. And yeah, I think it's super important. I'm just trying to instill that in whoever's watching this, that you don't have to sit here and call things and predict them and try to be a wizard whenever that's not what trading is. So keep that in mind. Quit trying to predict, rather so react, and you'll catch great trades like this, and then decent trades like this. This one's not as good. It's a small winner, but it didn't follow through, you know what I mean? So nothing too glamorous here, but this is solid. I'd grade it like a B plus outcome. A plus context, but like a B plus outcome. I really thought this might, go further, but all right, I'm going on and on. I gotta go, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, and I hope everyone's doing well trading and continues to. Later.